Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of my favorite action heroes from the 1980s and 1990s. He, of course, came out of the bodybuilding world, and he knows something about winning, about competing, about strength. And the first item on our SWOT analysis is the idea of strengths. Arnold Schwarzenegger said that strengths do not come as a result of winning. Strengths come as a result of overcoming and struggling. There's something in there that's really, really important. This idea that we must struggle, we must overcome in order to build strength. We don't win to build strength, we overcome to build strength. And one of the things that Arnold is talking about here is this idea about what do we do well and how do we focus and build an organization, build a career around this thing and shun the other things. So first of all, today we're going to talk about a SWOT analysis. A SWOT is a SWOT. This stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This is another decision matrix, not about what to do, but what to focus on strategically. This is a very, very simplified way to think about the world. We spoke about the Eisenhower matrix last time. This idea of what do we do? Is it urgent? Is it non-urgent? Is it important? Is it non-important? How do we break this down into quadrants? The SWOT analysis is very, very similarly informed. However, it talks about the ideas of what are our competencies and what is our environment like and how do we respond to this. So the idea of strengths, which is the first quadrant, if you look at the matrix, it is the top left-hand corner. These are things about our selling proposition. What makes us unique to the world? What value do I bring that no one else can bring? What perspective is that? What do your clients say that you do well? What are the things that are proprietary or unique to your organization or unique to you? How do we use the SWOT analysis? I think we think about this primarily in the terms of understanding either a strategy, an action, an organization, and an investment. What are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of this business, investment, person, activity? And so we essentially will write all these things. This used to look in middle school like a cost-benefit analysis. You list all the reasons why you should do something on the left-hand side and all the reasons why you shouldn't do something on the right-hand side, and then you count them up, and whichever one had the most, that's how you acted. The SWOT is the next evolution of this. It is a tried and true business tool. There are other business tools out there, such as Porter's 5 forces, the ideas of shareholder, stakeholder, competition, market environment, and strategy, how they all interact here. But the SWOT analysis is very, very important. So this first quadrant of strengths has to deal with what is your competitive advantage, what are you unique at, what are you good at, what do other people say you're good at? Because what we think that we're good at and what other people say that we're good at could be two very different things. And in the marketplace, it doesn't matter what you think you're good at, it matters what people are willing to pay you to be good at. And so is there actually a market for that? And so this is how we evaluate the strengths within this first quadrant. The second thing we think about in the SWOT, which is the W in the SWOT analysis, is weakness. Now, we want to think about where we can improve. The idea of weaknesses, of listing your weaknesses, not to get you down on yourself or down on your business or down on your organizations, but is to be real, to be honest, to provide a feedback for where you are. What do your clients say you're not good at? What are your clients always complaining about? Who in your company is always letting you down, is always missing deadlines, is always fumbling the ball? Those are your weaknesses. And these weaknesses are what drag your organization down. The job of the leader is to mitigate weaknesses in order to concentrate on strengths and then one other of these matrix areas. So why are we not well known? Why do we not have the market share we want to? Why do we suffer from cash flow problems all the time? Why are we in debt as an organization, as a family? These sorts of things go into the weaknesses column. So just a quick refresher, you've now listed, if you're thinking about a specific strategy, thinking about a specific acquisition, thinking about a specific hire, you've listed the strengths and you've listed the weaknesses, the strengths of the person, the weaknesses of the person, the strengths of the strategy, the strengths of the investment, the weaknesses of the strategy and investment. So this is your classical cost-benefit type of ratio that you would do maybe in middle school. Now, the next two quadrants are the quadrants where you have to evaluate the externality of the offering, or the offering to hire someone, offering to make an investment, offering to invoke and engage in a specific strategy that could propel your organization to the next level. The third quadrant, which is the lower left-hand quadrant, is the idea of opportunities. And we generally think about the market here. Is there a specific pain point? And if there's a pain point somewhere in the market, is there somewhere that we could take advantage of that pain point to profit. We look at our competitors. Do our competitors have any weaknesses? Do they have any holes in their armor that we could penetrate and benefit from? Are there competitors that are so large, they move so slowly that we could run in and execute a specific strategy? We could offer a secondary offering. We could also maybe engage in a corollary industry service and be able to effectuate our change there. These are the opportunities that we're looking for. Are there new technologies that we could bring to the table? Could we bring AI, like a chat AI or a chat bot, into the web paradigm or into our content strategy? These are the things we think about within opportunities. And so you're always looking for opportunities that would help bring up your strengths and diminish your weaknesses. And if you stick around to the end, again, I'll tell you what is the most important quadrant where you should focus almost the entirety of your focus. But the fourth quadrant is this idea of threats. This is an assessment idea. This is somewhere where you want to be cognizant of where the rest of the industry's gone and where it's going. I remember I started a business a few years ago that was focused on the green building movement. It was somewhere like 21 years ago. And I was too early to the game. I think I got the sixth certification of the U.S. Green Building Council's accredited professional certification, the sixth one in the country around green building conversions. I thought that we would be a leader in this business. What I quickly found out was the market was too slow. We were too early. And by the time the market caught up, the margins from the specialization had nearly evaporated. And so it was not a very good business strategy. We had a lot of fun there in the beginning, had a lot of business in the beginning, but in the end, the market caught up and the profitability went to nothing. And so we did not anticipate threat of market timing. What are the things that are keeping your organization back? Is it potentially a shrinking market? Is it potentially a market that has pivoted away from your industry? Are you in a traditional industry? Is it a market where there are indirect competitors that are encroaching on your territory? We're in the commercial real estate business, and there are indirect competitors coming from the auction marketplaces that are encroaching in our space. They like to work with brokers, but have a long-term game, is to suck up market share and be able to expunge the waste within the system. This is what competitors do. This is what indirect competitors do. This is what secondary or correlated offerings do within the marketplace. Are there social or political trends that are underway that you do not anticipate? If you're in a market where the localized government and the state government hate business, well, is this a place where you want to go build a business? Maybe not. This is worthwhile thinking about. We don't realize the impact of the political nature on our businesses. Everything from property taxes to labor to homelessness to the ability to be able to have great school systems in which kids can live and thrive. These are all very, very important things. So these threats must be considered and weighted appropriately. So the great question here now is Rick, what do I do with this? What do I do with this information? I would encourage you, first of all, to think about one decision you're considering now. Think about one decision. Maybe it's a new hire. Maybe it's entering a corollary market. Perhaps it's about trying to date or marry a specific person on your personal level. What is the number one decision you're considering? Maybe it's a change of faith. Maybe it was a change of a specific type of religion from one to another. Maybe it's a philosophical change. What if you put these things into a SWOT analysis and you build your table and you list the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats? What is the most important quadrant? So I would submit for your consideration that whenever we meet, whenever we strategize, whenever we come together to be able to build organizations, to build teams, we must focus the majority of our attention on opportunities. We spend so much of our time thinking about threats, thinking about problems, when a lot of our problems, a lot of our threats could be mitigated or eliminated through better processes and better people. You want to put your best people on the top priorities, and the top priorities should be centered around the top opportunities, because your mindset is what guides this. And either you have an advancement mindset or a retreat mindset. The advancement mindset plunges you into the chaos, plunges you to this disorder, plunges you into the darkness and the depravity, and the retreat where you'll never have success. But as an organization, if you focus on the opportunities, this is the yang, this is the light, this is the hope, this is the order that guides us, because the opportunities give us something to pursue. And when we have something to pursue, we can therefore weigh our actions against the pursuit of that. We have to know the way in order to go the way. This is where we come in. And so finally, Arnold Schwarzenegger's ideas about what we should be doing, where we should be going, are all pent up in this idea of strengths and opportunities. Focus on your strengths, mitigate your weaknesses, give assets and resources to grow your opportunities, and kill off threats wherever possible. And remember this, opportunity doesn't guarantee success. Opportunity merely guarantees opportunity.